I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long, you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room of our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Coach's Corner right here on SIBN Radio. And as we approach the microphone today, we admit that we're approaching the microphone with a set of our own personal and, professional challenges. But we're bringing to you the wisdom of our own folly. And we trust that we can earn the right to speak into your life. And also on today, we're going to be talking briefly about the power of momentum, understanding that power therein in your own personal life. It would be remiss if we did not say thank you to those that listen to us across the varying platforms where SIBN television and radio airs. Thank you so much for following us on Twitter. Thank you so much for visiting www.415-96radio.com. Thank you for joining the media club, www.we-support-select-usa-tv.com. and joining us there on Facebook, wherever respective fan pages, according to the shows on SIBN, is found. Today, again, we're going to be talking about understanding the power of momentum. My name is Marcus Gillette, a.k.a. The Coach. Welcome aboard. Let's get to work. Are you ready to throw down, as they say in the boxing ring? Momentum. Momentum, a measure of motion of a body equal to the product of its mass and velocity, according to the dictionary. A physical object in motion, according to the dictionary. Physics, the body, the product of a body's mass. The impetus of a body's resulting from its motion. The impetus of a body resulting from its motion. Driving power or strength. Understanding the power of momentum is very significant in my life because on the wings, once I heard this in my spirit, on the wings of momentum are the resources that you need in life. Too many times, more often than not, momentum is impeded through drama. Drama then occurs through unrecognized tidbits of change that needs to take place, respectively. I always remember that I'm responsible. I'm the common denominator. So change doesn't begin with them, their, her, him, and all that, but it begins inside of me. So the momentum has to be maintained by the source of which the object or the source by which the goal has been set. For instance, if you have a goal to lose weight this year, then the momentum that you would create from that is something that you would have to create. And any drama that stems from that goal is, though it may seem that it was started by someone else, it starts and ends with you. And too often more than not, we're not, honest with the core of who we are. And so we kind of fake it until we make it, so to speak, until we get caught red-handed. And then we get called out by the circumstances, not necessarily by the person. We get called out by the circumstances to correct something. Self-correction keeps us from insurrection. I need some help. Self-correction also gives us future resurrection. Just in case I get buried under the pressure. Just in case I get buried by feeling overwhelmed. Just in case I discover that there's something else that I need to work on that's stopping me from the thing that I thought I was working on that's going to get me from A to B. You understand what I'm saying? So understanding the power of momentum means that I understand the strength and I know how to harness what it will take to have me move in auto mode or to have me move on autopilot, because there's this grind thing that I've been talking about under the psychology of change. There's this grinding, but I want you to understand. Listen, it's good to grind, but if you know and understand the power of momentum in your grind, then you know when to stop. You know when to put the phone down. You know when to not call. You know when not to pass out a business card. I need some help right there. You know when not to engage in a networking meeting. But when you are not understanding the power of momentum, you try everything. And this is not, I'm not saying that, I'm not sure that the kitchen sink is the right way to find purpose. But, many of us have thrown the kitchen sink at a whole lot more, trying to find our way through something. But more importantly, I remember one time I was working on something and the thought came to me, these words: if you respect momentum, course correct when course correction is on the table. Course correct, let me say that again. Course correct when course correction is required. If you're willing to face the core you, that you may not have it all together, that though even with your degrees, that you still don't spit it all out right. I need some help. Even with your cognitive abilities and with your intellect, you still don't have the wisdom to put it all together. And so if you can course correct along the way, you might be able to safeguard momentum or momentous power to keep the project, whatever that project is, ongoing. It could be your relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be a situation that occurred, an emergency, a tragedy. Still you need momentum to get through. I like that right there. You need momentum to get through situations. And so when you add more drama than is necessary to the situation, now it becomes a monster, as someone said one time. It becomes a wet whale that you can't quite wrap your arms around it because you do not understand and respect the power of momentum. Momentum is found in catch-22 situations. Momentum is found in the domino effect that I've talked about on my radio shows in the past. Catch-22 situations is, damned if you do and damned if you don't, and you're picking the worst of two evils. And then the domino effect is the things that you now try to do right now are challenged by the plethora of things you did wrong, but they were unaddressed. I need some help. I said the things that you're trying to do now that's right is threatened by the past that was ignored and unaddressed. Unaddressed issues, ignored problems. You just can't ignore a problem and it goes away. You just can't ignore processes and then they just fold and fade. They will come back to haunt you by the time you think, now my life is on track. I need some help. And so the power of momentum, first, I think, begins with a level of respect. One person said about a boxer, said if he doesn't understand his opponent, then that's the first sign that he will lose. If he does not understand his opponent, that is the first signal that he has lost the bout. His loss will be predictable and thus expendable because he does not respect the power, the strength, the force. He does not comprehend. He does not embrace how you must not you must not interfere. You must not interfere with momentous power. You poured the foundation into your relationship, and an example of how a guy, for instance, could interrupt the momentum in his relationship is little things. You poured the foundation, you met this girl and everything, and then all of a sudden you just start talking stupid stuff. Little things. You don't say thank you. You don't. It could be something little that impedes the momentum. Let me give you another example. Opposite spectrum. A criminal has high hopes for his criminality. And he seeks ways, inroads, if you will, to commit a crime that will put him over the top, maybe even allow him to retire. But then he is impeded in his efforts through the momentous power of law enforcement. I need some help. And too often, more than not, a wanted sign or a picture or fingerprints, DNA, what have you, now puts him on the run, thus impeding again his momentous efforts to proceed in his criminal behaviors. I need some help. And so here we find now that he cannot maintain momentum, partially because he is working upstream in his efforts to duplicate a life of good, a life of success, if you will, a life of good stuff, if you will. And so that's a weird example, but that's a great example. You know, the ones that like to speed in their cars are impeded by laws that change from 65 to 55 to 25 like that. You know, you look up and you got a ticket and you were like, okay, it was just 55. Well, it dropped real fast because they understand that in that area where you were driving, they understand that the drivers have no intention of slowing down. So they dropped it fast and set a cop right there to impede the momentous law-breaking drivers who will not slow down for anything. I need some help. You see? So understanding the power of momentum can safeguard your efforts. And many times more than not, we redouble our efforts needlessly. I want to caution against that. We double down needlessly. Most times we work sometimes in areas needlessly, whereas momentum was not impeded, it would have carried us. And we can learn how to ride the wings of momentum into the place of expectancy and into the place of our confidence. I need some help. But the force of momentum cannot be interrupted. And it is often interrupted because we ourselves, not talking about the other person, but we ourselves do not self-correct along the way. I have also another aspect of momentum when I come back from the break. Momentum can also be broken because I will not expand my capacity. Oh, my goodness. I will not expand my capacity to grow. And so thus my momentum slows down. Maybe it's not impeded at first, but it slows. It's almost like the story in the Bible where the guy who was a prophet was often fed by the ravens and the brook until one day he heard a voice that says, the brook is dried up. The ravens will not be flying over. Get up and move on. You know, and of course, by all means, you know, the comfort zone now. And so we'll talk about this more after the break. But this prophet, this young man did not want to move on. You mean to tell me the ravens will not bring me my meat on today? You mean to tell me? And that probably didn't sink in until, you know, maybe a week or so after. And there's no resources. Why? Because momentum now has been impeded in this instance. Why? Because the person relaxed too much in their comfort zone and they were unwilling to expand their capacity to receive from a place of the unknown and from a place of the unfamiliar. I got to go to break. This is SIBN's The Coach's Corner. My name is Marcus. I'm the coach. Stand by.
You're listening to SIBN Radio. We'll be right back in a moment.
Responsible, accountable. Who taught you that? My daddy taught me that. That's right, the new book, all the way from Asheville, North Carolina, representing the legacy of Benny Lake, is Keenan Lake, the author of My Daddy Taught Me That, the book and the program for young men in Asheville, North Carolina, and throughout the region.
Tune in to the program, the project, and the book at MyDaddyTaughtMeThat.com. For more information, email lake@MyDaddyTaughtMeThat.com or call 828-582-2261. That's 828-582-2261. MyDaddyTaughtMeThat.com.
Ustedes están escuchando SIBN, transmitido por Salet USA TV. Síganos en Twitter @SaletUSATV o visítenos en www.41596radio.com.
Yeah, we're back here. SIBN Radio's #1 show, The Coach's Corner, understanding the power of momentum. Thank you so much for joining us right here live and on demand. Understanding the power of the invisible force of strength that carries the foundational work and efforts that you have done to expand your capacity to receive. I need some help. You know I can go, okay? They don't call me the coach for nothing. And so I was saying before the break that too many times, more often than not, momentum can slow or be impeded because we're not ready to expand our capacity to grow. Case in point, something came across my desk to get ready for possible application to an international story that I need to cover. What do you do then? What do you do when all of your efforts and the foundational things that you thought was for one thing is for something greater than you ever could imagine? You have to maintain momentum and not get into doubt and disbelief. And of course, by all means, don't walk in fear, by all means. But you have to also get ready for the next level or disbursement of capacity. I need some help. So you have to get ready for the next level of disbursement of capacity building. Capacity building is another way to expand my comprehension of maintaining my momentous efforts. Do you understand what you can and cannot do? And do you understand that there are some things that you may have to prepare to do better or prepare to do at all? That what you can do in this space over here may be plausible and, prepare you for something over here that may now require a process to get from here to there to do this over here. I need some help. So I want to encourage you. I mean, pretty much that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? To bring you to the level where you can ride momentum to the place of your destiny. Where you can ride momentum to the place of your objectivity. You ride the momentum to the place of your imagination. But I want to talk just a bit more, DJ. I want to talk just a bit more about no drama for your mama that interrupts the process of your momentous efforts. This drama that I talked about for your mama is attractive because there are cores and wrinkles in ourselves that we are not acknowledging that is there. And so I just kind of believe that folks have to come along to show us ourselves, even though they may totally be in the wrong in their demonstration of who we are. They put us on Front Street because we have not been authentic enough to the core of who we are. And so these flaws and these flakes and these wrinkles now are exposed through what seems to be the fault of another. But then if we're objective enough and if we're able to safeguard our resource of efforts and how much energy we put into something and sit still and be quiet long enough, we'll find that came along to expose you, not to expose them, because you cannot do anything about them. You can only do something about yourself. You can only change you. And the drama for your mama starts with my core, not someone else's core. We give people permission to treat us like they treat us. We give people permission to engage us like they engage us. And when we recognize this in the silence and meditative moments of our own space, we can stop the drama for your mama, at least to the degree that, hey, you know what? I'm going to be at peace with me. I realize I don't have it all together. I realize that I'm working on some things. I realize that I'm upgrading. I realize that I'm learning. Yes, I'm learned, but I am learning. See, this is the problem with America. We have too many people that are so learned. We cannot teach anything else because they have gotten it together. Their access to the internet and their access to a plethora of books. Most of the stuff that I'm sharing with you on my shows are not from a book. They are from the scars of my own folly. They are from the blood of my own accidents or incidents, if you will. These are not things that I've read in some book somewhere, though they may be found in books, because these are usually universal principles that can be shared across religious spectrums, across cultural spectrums, across economic spectrums. Understanding that when something is picking up steam, you don't interrupt it. Understanding that if you're doing something over here that's going to interrupt the steam that you're picking up over here in your business, and you're doing this over here in the booth in the back in the dark, then you can't cry when the thing over there is impeded and has to start from level 2, whereas you were on your way to level 10. I mean, this requires integrity and honesty and a sincere look at myself and my own situation to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to safeguard my momentous efforts. So many people have to start from zero. I know about starting from zero over and over and over again. You know why? Because you're not acknowledging your faults. You kill momentum because you lie to yourself. You kill momentum because you only agree with people who are agreeable with you, but you disagree with people who may be telling the truth that feel somewhat in your spirit disagreeable to you. But every enemy should be respected. And even those that are close to us can reveal something about us that we ourselves can change and become better at for the betterment of those around us. But too often we lie to ourselves and we do not tell ourselves the truth. And then we seek to cover the lie with a truth so that everyone can see that we are adorned with the agreement of general truth, but we're not adorned with practical and day-to-day truth. I need some help right there, DJ. I got to get ready to get out of here. You see, we lie to ourselves and tell ourselves things that are not true. And so circumstances brings it out. And then the drama, we want now to point the finger at them, her, they, and him as if it was them that started it. No, it occurred because the flaw was in me. I need some help. The Coach's Corner's philosophy is very simple. I am the common denominator in every situation. And if it is to be, first, I must prioritize my divinity, for if it is to be, if I am to be free, it is up to me as I prioritize my divinity. I need some help. This is our philosophy, and we understand that when we have a force, a strength, when we have a train, when we have a momentous, oh my goodness, a run, as we used to call it in transportation business. You say, where you headed? Oh, I got to run out to Cali real quick. The momentum is in my answer. That's a long trip, they would say. Yeah, that's just down the street. Momentous power is safeguarded by correction to prevent insurrection and self-correction to allow a resurrection. But also momentous power is safeguarded through my objection. How I see life, how I see a thing, how I see a person, how I see an incident, how I see an accident, how I see something. Well, if I change the way I look at it, then the things that I'm looking at will change. Go to a small break. Be right back to wrap things up. reaching all artists of all genres. Now you can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, airing now on SIBN Radio. That's right, all artists now, all genres, wholesome and positive, please, can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase. Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, now airing on SIBN Radio. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Or email us at globalcoverage@selectusatv.info.
SIBN Television and Radio Networks has openings for internships. Learn internet radio, web TV production, audio production, broadcasting platform integration, and so much more. Visit www.sibntelevision.com. That's www.sibntelevision.com. Click on the icon for internships. Complete your application, and a staff member of SIBN Television and Radio Networks will contact you immediately. This is your season. Your talent is required. Your skills will be upgraded when you connect with SIBN Television and Radio Networks today. Visit www.sibntelevision.com. Click on the internship program. Complete your application, and someone from the staff will contact you immediately. For more information, dial 404-910-5019 or email us at globalcoverage@selectusatv.info.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, Jamaica Chapel, College Park, Georgia, in the house. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Hi, this is Ted Bones calling from Richmond, Virginia, and you're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up now.
Hi, this is VJ Washington calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. So turn it up.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Columbusville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
What's good? It's your boy Joe coming from Snellville, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live. SIBN FM, powered by Select USA TV.
Yeah, we got to get ready to get out of here, man. I mean, it's, time is gone. Understanding the power of your momentum also dictates who you serve. Who you're serving. Principles matter, but people matter too. People matter more than principle. Principles are things that we want people to adopt as part of their repertoire of development, but people matter too. If we don't show the love to people, then the preaching of the principle will be as cold as ice. I need some help. And the power of momentum is the balance of the matter. Who are we serving? What is the end goal? What is the objective of the entire life that you're living? If you get what you say you want, then what? These are the things that we have to think about. These are the questions we have to ask. We have to ask ourselves the hard questions of life and not just passively walk through the corridors of such a journey. I wanted to be said when I'm dead and gone that this man challenged me beyond the culture that I embraced. I wasn't looking to be politically correct when we started the Coach's Corner, and I'm not going to be politically correct. But I am going to look to unshackle that which has arrested our personal development. Until next time, whatever you do, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Select USA TV. That's SALETTE USA TV. It's the Coach.
Radio, powered by Salet USA TV. Tune in 24/7 at www.415-96radio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Salet USA TV and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Salet USA TV.